In the United States, it's all about the base. In the United Kingdom, it's all about the base. This coup in London, it's all about the base. Why is it I'm the first person to say to you that all this is a preemptive strike on the right of the Conservative Party in advance of a massive triumph in the United States by the right? Why is it I'm the first person to say this? All the analysis, all the talking heads, all reacting, telling you what's happening, nobody telling you why it's happening, especially the dangerous why. This has all been about making sure that what's about to happen in the United States when the Democrats get buried by the Maga movement doesn't repeat itself in the United Kingdom. And the New World Order globalists are absolutely aware of that, you can bet. You've already seen the surge in the right. They know what's about to happen in the United States. Of course they're going to make a move. As far as they're concerned, the Tory party has outlived its usefulness as a mechanism of getting out of Europe. They were happy to encourage the Brexit phenomenon for the purposes of disconnecting from Europe, for the purposes then of stirring trouble in Europe and causing economic chaos there from which they would be disconnected. Plan going great. The next part of their plan was to get rid of Boris Johnson. Why? Because it's not Boris they're after, it's the whole Brexit crew. They knew they had to decapitate the right of the party. Unfortunately for them, it didn't work out, did it? And they didn't get their golden boy, their banker dream duo of Penny Mordaunt and our Chancellor of the Exchequer, Rishi Sunak, or Richie, as I prefer to call him. That was their dream ticket, folks. That's what they wanted when they dumped Boris. Didn't work out. The base. It's all about the base. The base didn't like Rishi. And they didn't really warm to Bill Gates' pet, Penny Mordaunt. And instead of that, they got Liz Truss. And they weren't happy with Liz Truss. And so they've engineered this. And that's what's going on. They got somebody who, despite her limitations, was expressing the sentiments of the base, was in touch with the base, was attempting to do what Margaret Thatcher had attempted to do and rein in the state. She should have realised what actually happened, even to Margaret Thatcher. Margaret Thatcher, who came to power with the state 43% of the economy. Time to cut that back, she said. At the end of Thatcher's era, from 43% up to 44%, all those years of cutting back the state managed to increase. She should have known. They'd never let her get away with it. And it filled them with horror, her entire agenda, small state, low taxes, high growth. This is not what they wanted. They wanted fiscal responsibility, baby. They wanted the Tories to inflict the pain and then Labour to step in to the golden seat in due course. That's what they wanted. They did not want the right to embrace a growth agenda, a small state agenda, and even worse, to be empowered by huge victories in the United States for the right and continuing victories across Europe for the right and end up burying the establishment and taking permanent control of the Tory party. That's what this is all about. And they're desperate now. There's only 3 weeks to go. November the 8th is when the sudden sea change in the entire global perspective flips. And they did not want her in place. They also didn't want the kind of economics she represented, which was why one of the first things Chancellor of the Exchequer Jeremy Hunt did Monday 17th of October was to convene an expert panel of respected economists as part of a new Economic Advisory Council. Yes, lovely. So the market will tell him what to do. And he spoke, of course, to the Governor of the Bank of England as soon as he was appointed. Of course he did. He was reporting back into head office. And it's head office that calls the shots here in the Treasury and not the people who vote, and definitely not the membership and the base. So one of the things that did trip up Liz Truss, was they were really pulling a fast one by underwriting all of the additional energy costs for the next, say, 2 years, fully underwriting and protecting the British people from the impact of that. Why? Well, obviously to gain an electoral advantage. So that was really laying it on a bit thick, and that was a very expensive present in order to try and secure electoral advantage. And one of the things which the Bank of England was able to then use against her and accuse her of the kind of fiscal erectitude that leads to disaster. But a disaster of which the Treasury is the architect. I mean, here's the Treasury continuing to stand with Ukraine. October the 13th, just days beforehand, with the previous Chancellor. Yeah, we can sign any amount of checks for Ukraine, that's fine. We can sign any amount of checks for the energy companies and for the huge energy rip-off, that's fine. We can do that. But if you try and help people out with their energy bills, if you try and help the ordinary people out, we got no money for that kind of stuff. That's reckless. No. We need people to help you, not be reckless. Like Rupert Harrison, an advisor to George Osborne, and also Philip Hammond's former top economic advisor, Karen Ward, as well as 2 former Bank of England economists. And further members will be added in due course. Yeah. I mean, so there you have it. The Chancellor is about to be advised as to what he is to do by a bunch of bankers. So it really doesn't matter what you think about all of this stuff anymore, does it? But as this plays out, it's very important not to mention the elephant in the room. Yes, everyone's going to react, lots of emotion, who do they think they are, etc., all focused on domestic UK politics. Nobody talking about the why. Again, why is it down to me to point out the why? It's goddamn obvious once I point it out to you. This is why they're making the move now. Nobody talks about that because you have compartmentalization. You have media who are pretending to be giving you full depth analysis, but are actually ring fencing, always ring fencing, to make sure you don't see broader picture, to make sure you don't see context, to make sure you don't understand that this is about Maga base and the UK Conservative base and the threat they represent to the New World Order. So how is it going in the USA, in the countdown, as we approach the final moment on the 8th of November? It's going absolutely great. This is why they are so desperate. It's going fantastic. You will not be seeing the likes of these. You are seeing the likes of this in the United States. It's a totally different landscape, and one which Trump and the Maga movement are about to secure a huge, historic, earth-shattering victory. That's why everyone's silent. Because they know it's coming. And they want to keep that from you. They want to keep the scale of it from you. Especially after having played it looks like the Democrats might be actually coming back a bit game over the last few months. Expect a slew of late polls indicating a sudden surge for Republicans. So that's what's about to happen in the USA. And when that happens, people are going to realize Trump's coming back in 2024. People are going to realize that the left-right thing that they've been so conditioned into regarding everything right as wrong is falling apart, and that the current establishment is imploding. That's what they're anxious to make sure you don't connect the dots on. The US House and the US Senate are about to fall comfortably to the MAGA Republican surge. And what's even more threatening to the establishment is that it isn't even about Donald Trump anymore. It's definitely not about these people anymore. It's about all those people in the background. It's about the base. It's all about the base. That's what's happening. That's why this is all happening right now. Okay? That's it on the 20th of October at around 3 p.m. GMT. This is The Beautiful Truth with Fintan Dunn reporting. Connecting the dots for you, and I'll be back to connect some more ASAP. Look forward to your company then as well. But in the meantime, Stay strong and let's do it. This is the beautiful truth. I'll be back with more soon. See you then.